Hi and welcome to this new lesson. We are going to see today how to add a watermark to a picture. So for example, I have this logo and I have these images. Let's suppose that I have a photo shooting company and I want to add this watermark to each single picture. So for example, I take this one, we want to place the watermark in the center of this picture. We want to do the same for this one and so on with the rest. We could do this operation using Photoshop or GIMP manually, but this will take us a really long time. Instead, we want to automate this process, and that's what we're going to see right now using Opencv with Python. Let's start. Let's start first by our logo. Here we have the logo on GIMP where the logo is completely white, so the idea is that the logo is white, so the watermark will appear better on the image, and then we place a black background. This operation is necessary because Opencv takes black background as no background. Instead, if we give also this one the alpha channel, Opencv will take this as an extra level and it wouldn't work so nicely as it's supposed to be. So without making things more complicated, we take white logo on a black background and then can export this logo where we have our Python script. I have it right here, and then I will call this mylogo.png, and we export, and then I have it already replaced, and I'm doing this with GIMP, so it doesn't matter which editor you use. The only important thing is that we have a white logo on a black background. Once we have the logo on the folder, we can go with our Python code. Let's start by importing the libraries. We're going to import CV2, which is Opencv, and then we're going to import numpy as np. Let's first load the logo. Logo is equals to cv2.imread mylogo.png, and then let's show the logo cv2.imshow logo, and then logo. Then a wait key event to keep the image open, cv2.waitKey 0, and then we can run this one to see if the logo was loaded correctly. And here is our logo, white logo and black background. Now we have also a folder with many images, which is this one where we have all the images we are interested in. So we can just take the path of one of them. So I will just copy one name. We will start putting the logo on just one image. I will take this one. So let's load an image, img, cv2.imread. The images on the images folder images, and then I'm going to paste the name of the image, and then I know that the format is JPG, and I will put JPG. We are going also to show the image to make sure that everything is correct. cv2.imshow img, because if there is anything wrong, we don't want to have all the problems together, so better to see that everything is working, and now everything is working correctly. The image is quite big, I cannot see the entire image, so the center is somewhere here as the image is continuing below. So let's say that we want to place this logo to the center of this image. How do we do that? First of all, we need to understand where the center of the image is located, and then we can proceed. So first of all, let's take the infos of img. Here is our image, and so from the image we're going to take the height of the image, so we can say h.emg, which is the height of the image, and then w.emg, which is the width of the image. Underscore, these are going to be the channels which we don't need, so we put underscore where we don't need that value, and then emg.shape, and we're going to print h.emg and w.emg, and let's run this one. The size of our image is 1920 pixels of height and 1280 pixels of width. How do we take the center when we know height and width? It's really simple. We simply divide height and width by 2. So we can say that center y is the height divided by 2. So integer height image divided by 2. By the way, I'm putting integer because we cannot have a pixel, half pixel. If the image is let's say is 100 pixels of height, if we divide it by 2, we get 50, and that's fine. If the image has 101 pixels of height divided by 2, it will be 50.5. A pixel cannot be just half, either is not. So either 50, either 51, not 0.5. So that's why we put integer. Then center x is equals to int WEMG divided by 2. So now we have the center of the image. Now let's show everything again. Stop and return. So we have the center of the image, which is somewhere here, but we know that if we want to place something on this image, we have to find the top left point. So how can we find the top left point of this image, which is somewhere here? So if this is the center, this is the top left point. Top left point, we can calculate this point by taking first the width of the logo, the height of the logo. We divide the width divided by 2 and the height divided by 2. Does this make sense? If we check center, so we take half of the width and we go on the left, and so half of the height, and so somewhere here, and we can put the logo. Let's do that. So let's calculate now the top left point where to place our watermark. To do this, we need to take h logo, which is the height of the logo, and width logo, which is the width of the logo, and then underscore logo.shape. And now just here, let's say top left is equals, we take the center y of the image minus, we want to subtract half of the height of the logo. So this is going to be minus height logo divided by 2, and of course also this one must be an integer. And so we say also we have the top, okay, it's not correct to say just top left, this one, it's top y, this is top y, and then we have left x, let's call it this way because it's just one coordinate. Left x, we have to do the same operation but on the x-axis, so I'm going to take center x minus integer of width of the logo divided by 2. To make sure that this is somehow correct, I want to see where this is going to be placed on the image. cv2.circle, so I draw a circle on this point, we draw it on the image. The center is left x and top y, so we need x and y coordinate of the center of the circle. Then the radius of the circle, let's make it 10 pixels, quite big so that we can see it. Let's make it green, 0.2550, and thickness -1, so we fill the circle. And I'm going to run this one. Okay, more or less where expected. Then here we have the green circle, which is on the position where it's supposed to be. So we're going to place the logo right here. And this is the center of the image. It's quite big, so we don't see all the image right now. So let's now, what do we do now? Now we need to take this logo and place it exactly here. How do we do that? Now, first of all, we need to select the area. So select an ROI, which is region of interest. Get ROI. To get the ROI, we need to have the top left point and the right bottom point. Top left point, we have already the top left point, and the right bottom right here. Maybe let's change the image. I'm going to take an image which doesn't take the entire screen so that we can work more easily. Maybe let's take this one, which is a horizontal image. Let's try this image. Okay, now it will be much better. The logo, so we have the top left point, it's this one. Now we need right bottom point, so it is going to be this one. To get the right bottom point is really simple. It's just top left plus the width of the logo plus the height of the logo, and we have top right. Top right, so we have top, bottom right, not top right. Let's do that here. Bottom y is equals to top y plus the height of the logo, then right x is equals to left x plus the width of the logo. And so if I draw the circle, we say bottom right x and then bottom y. We run this and we have top left, bottom right, our region of interest. Now let's extract this area from the original image. So on the original image, EMG, that's the way to select an area from an image. First of all, we need to say from which point we want to start on the y-axis, so on the height. And we have to choose the starting point, which is top y. Top y is this one, to which point we want to arrive. And we want to get to the bottom y. Then the same we do on the x-axis, so on the width. Where do we want to start? We want to start from left x until right x. On this area, we're now going to place the logo. So simply we selected this area of the image and we say that this area is now going to be equals to the logo. Let's now show the image. Okay, now you see we have the original image and then we change the area with the logo. As you can see, it's not straightforward as it can be with GIMP or Photoshop editor to replace something over an image. Here we have to do some more image processing operations. What we did was simply just to change all the image with this one, all this section of the image with this one. Now we want to create an extra logo where we also are going to add the background. So we're going to add the part of the images which are now black. So before doing this operation, let's remove this and let's take the ROI so that we can do some pre-processing of the logo. So right now I'm going to comment this one, and instead I'm going to take the ROI. So we take the ROI from image, and this is the section from top Y to bottom Y, from left X to right X. So we can show now ROI, CV to the image show, ROI, and then ROI. And we can run this one. Now you see we have the image, we have the logo, and we have the ROI. What we do right now, we take the logo, we link somehow these images, and only then we can place the images together inside the original image. Let's do that. So we are going to add the ROI with the logo. We are going to keep the ROI as it is. Instead, we're going to give to the logo a watermark effect so that there is some gradient of opacity. To do this, we're going to use the add weighted operation. So the result is going to be equals to cv2.add weighted, and then we take the ROI and we say 1 because we're keeping it 100% the same. Instead, the logo, we're going to give some opacity, so we say 0.5 and then 0. And now to see what result we can expect, we can show this one, c.image show result, and then result. And that's what we get. Our result is this one. Of course, you can change the gradient of your opacity, like we gave 0.5, and that's what we see. We could say 0.3, and we will see much less the logo. Probably this is better. It looks nicer, 0.3. And now, the last operation of the image processing is replace the ROI, this result, with the section on the image. And we did that one before when we replaced the image with the logo. We're going to use now the same line of code, but instead of placing the logo right away, we place the result after that we added the logo with the ROI. And so here we have the result, and if I run this one, that's our final image. Okay, maybe let's remove these green circles which we don't need anymore. We need them just to see what was there. And if I run this, that's the result. Now, this took a really long time, but just because we were coding everything. The nice thing is that now we can do this operation for all the images that we have with just one running of the code. So the thing that we need now is we want to extract all the images automatically so that we can save the images with the logo with watermark effect placed. So let's do that right now. Here is where we have the logo, so we keep the logo the same. Instead, we want to load multiple images. So we're going to add just after the logo images path, and to load all the paths we need to import a new library which is glob, import glob. And this is really simple. We just say glob.glob, and we're going to put the path where the images are, images, and then we use asterisk to say all, and we can also choose which format. We don't really care about if they are PNG, JPG. Let's leave just this all the formats. To make sure that this is working correctly, we can print images path, and that's what I see. So images, I have all the paths into an array. So this is the first, the second, and so on. For each image I have the path. So you need to put exactly here the path. I just put images because it's the folder images, it's on the same level where is my add watermark Python code. And so after we have all the paths, what we want to do, we want to loop through each single of them. So we say for path, for emg path, in images path, and we put all the code below into a loop. So until maybe just this one, because we don't want to show all of them right now. And then I go up, I have all the code in a loop. We want to load each time the single image, so I will put the path of the single image on cv2 imread. What else? The other thing, we want to save the image converted. So the first thing we want to do is to take just the name of the image so that we can save all the images. And we can do that just inside of the loop. At the end, we can say cv2.imWrite. What's the name of the image? Well, to get the name of the image from the path that we have of each image, so if I print right now path, emg path, and I run this one, stop and return, and of course there is some error, somewhere there is some error, but it was enough just to see at least the first one. We have images and then the name. We want just the name, so we have a library which is import OS. So from OS we can get the file name. File name is equals to os.path.base name of emg path. So let's now print file name to see what we get. We print file name and we run this and we have this file name. So let's do this. cv2.imWrite, we are going to write them on the same folder. So cv2.imWrite on /images, on images, the folder. Then we can add a title before the images, so we say watermarked, and then we put the name of the image plus file name, and then the file that we want to save, and we want to save emg, and then that should be enough to work with. We don't really need to see anything anymore. We can just go till the end and print watermark added to all the images, and then here print at the beginning, print adding watermark, and we can now run the code. Adding watermark to all the images, watermark added to all the images. And now I'm going to see what's the final result. Here is the images folder, and we should see a copy of each image. Okay, I see watermarked. The difference of these images is that they start with watermarked. So you see my logo on this one also, And so for all the images which start with the title watermarked photo. And let's go over and over. You can see that it looks really nice and really smooth, the watermark on all the images. And this code could be used on your own computer to process a lot of images that you have on one folder. And of course, the more images you have, the slower it will be, but it can process like thousands of images in a really short time. Or you could create a service on your own server where you can offer the service to someone. If someone uploads the image on your website, and then it can download the image with the watermark. That's up to you how to use this code. This is all for this video lesson of today. See you in the next tutorial.